The chosen one. Listen closely. You have not been delayed. You have been drafted. Your single season is not a cold hallway between doors. It is the workshop of a precise God. Tonight, heaven interrupts your scroll to tell you what the ache could not. You are not being punished. You are being patterned. The silence around you is not rejection. It is calibration. The one who numbered your hairs has also numbered your steps, and this step is holy. You feel it, don't you? That pull to withdraw from the noise, to disentangle from counterfeit closeness, to let old versions of you fall off like dead leaves. The world calls it loneliness. Heaven calls it consecration. You are not missing out. You are being measured for something tailor-made. Hear the urgency and love. Do not misname the season that will crown you. When God removes the scaffolding, the structure is not collapsing, it is complete. When He quiets the room, He is tuning your ear. When He closes lesser doors, He is aligning the hinge of the greater. Precision always feels like pruning before it looks like purpose. This is why some conversations keep dissolving. This is why familiar invitations no longer fit. It's not that desire has died. It's that your discernment has grown teeth. The oil on your life is too costly to be spent on what cannot carry it. Heaven would rather train you in seeming emptiness than watch you overflow in the wrong direction. Anointed one, the delay is surgical. God is cutting to length, sanding rough edges, inlaying wisdom where impulse used to live. He is sharpening your sight so you can recognize covenant over chemistry, assignment over attention, legacy over the temporary thrill of being chosen by many while being misaligned with the one. Do not curse the cocoon that is shaping your flight. Caterpillars do not call the dark cruelty. They call it change. Your prayers are not ricocheting off the ceiling. They are being cataloged as blueprints. The timing you fear is late is the very hour that protects the future you prayed for when no one was listening. What is coming will ask more of you than charm. It will require capacity, language boundaries, and the kind of gentleness that only grows in solitude. God is not withholding love from you. He is enlarging the love within you, so that when love arrives, it finds a room, not a vacancy. Feel the nearness now. The Father's smile over your careful yes. Angels are already repositioning details, clicking into place you cannot yet see. Breathe. Your single season is precision work, and the master craftsman does not miss measurements. Stay close. What feels hidden is about to be named. The voice that set the stars is ready to speak of origins and intention. Be still now. The one who authored your breath steps into the room. I am the Lord who measures hearts with mercy, says the Holy One, the Father who plants timing like seeds and waters them with my own patience. I have set you apart, not aside. I have hidden you, not withheld you. I have carved your name into seasons you have not entered yet, and I have guarded your steps from altars that would have asked for your fire without giving you a future. Heaven bears witness. The Spirit hovers over this moment like dawn over water, and the Son, faithful and true, stands as your advocate, interceding with the tenderness of one who knows your story from inside the skin of humanity. You are not being observed from a distance. You are being held from within. The throne is not far. It is here pooling at your feet like light. Listen to the cadence of God's heart toward you. I did not delay you. to deny you. I delayed you to define you. I will not send you into covenant carrying the fractures of compromise. I am closing familiar corridors so you can find the door with your name engraved on the lintel. You have wondered if you are behind. Hear me. You are not late. You are aligned. This is the sound of destiny clearing its throat. Angels who specialize in alignment are rethreading your calendar through the eye of purpose. What looked like empty squares are sacred appointments veiled from prying eyes. What felt like unanswered prayers are actually answers traveling by a longer path to avoid counterfeits that smiled like promises but carried hooks beneath their compliments. The Father continues, I am the author of precision. I am the gardener of thresholds. I prune where fruit will one day bend the branch. I correct where glory would otherwise crush. I am not punishing you. I am protecting the harvest within you. The love I am sending is too weighty for a hurried soul. Let me finish the slow miracle. Feel this, how his voice doesn't bruise. It builds. How his correction is never a cuff to the face, but a hand beneath the chin, lifting your gaze from what left to what is coming. Your pulse slows because you recognize the presence that has followed you through locked nights and silent mornings. The same presence that refused to call you by your failures and instead called you by your future. What you call loneliness, he whispers, I call language class. I am teaching you speech for a house you have not entered yet. Phrases like honor, intercession, mutual submission, holy ambition, and keep the oil. I am giving you eyes to see red flags before they wave, and the courage to bless good things that are not your thing. There is a hush now, the soft thunder of kindness. Covenant is not a rescue from singleness. Covenant is a stewardship of assignment. The bridegroom king is not rushing you. He is rehearsing you. Heaven has never mocked your timeline. Heaven is wedding your timing to wisdom. You are learning to sit where you once hurried, to ask where you once assumed, to bless where you once clutched. Hear the last line of the Father's decree over this hour. When I unveil it, will be simple to recognize. Peace will not have to shout. Hold that sentence like a ring you will one day wear in your spirit. The author has signed this chapter with his name, and the ink is still warm. When the author signs his name, the next page turns itself. The page turns, and a vision opens like a door at dawn. I see a workbench of cedar scarred with holy use. On it rests a blueprint drawn in living light lines that pulse like rivers' measurements inscribed with mercy. Your name runs through every corridor. Above the bench burns a lamp that never exhausts its oil. A steady, scarred hand reaches for instruments. A plumb line of truth, a chisel of clarity, a compass of calling. The hand measures, trims, and turns pieces others called leftovers into a frame fit for glory. What you thought were fragments become fitted stones. What looked like delay becomes dovetailed joints no storm can shake. Precision, not punishment, glows across the room. The scene shifts to a shoreline at night. The sky is black silk, stitched with unfamiliar constellations. Waves approach with the hush of sanctuary, each carrying tiny lanterns in the foam. As they break at your feet, The lanterns climb your ankles like fireflies and settle as a low crown of light. A voice moves across the waters, gentle commanding. Stand still while I number your steps. The sea retreats, carving a narrow, luminous path. You take a step. The path brightens with agreement. You pause. The path waits. Nothing from God demands panic. You step again. Behind you, doors that once begged for your attention close with soft finality. You do not flinch. The crown of small lights rises to your head. You are learning to be led by peace, not pushed by pressure. A wind lifts with the scent of wood smoke and rain. An orchard appears, rows of trees in tender leaf, each trunk bound with a ribbon bearing one word: fidelity. Honor, laughter, prayer, patience, courage. As you walk, the ribbons unbind, float upward, and dissolve into your breath. The orchard leans toward you as though recognizing its gardener. A whisper nearer now. This field will be stewarded, not consumed. This love will be planted, not performed. At the center stands a gate without a fence, a paradox only heaven builds. Above it hangs a key shaped like a question mark, straightened into an exclamation. You lift it. It is weightless until purpose touches it. Then it settles with gravity. When you set the key to the gate, the metal does not clang. It sings one note of fierce gentleness that makes old fears forget their language. Beyond the gate, a house rests on bedrock. Not grand, not gaudy, beautiful in the way true things are proportioned, honest, welcoming. Over the lintel, your name is carved beside another, a name you have not spoken yet, but heaven has. The carving is shallow, as if waiting for agreement to deepen the lines. The voice returns. Covenant is not a hiding place from loneliness. It is a headquarters for assignment. Inside rooms breathe. A prayer room where the floor remembers tears and turns them into carpet. A kitchen where nourishment tastes like peace. A table long enough for future faces you have not met, but already love. In the bedroom, there is no performance, only intercession and rest. Two wardrobes hang with garments labeled mutual honor, shared vision, and guard the oil. Before you cross the threshold, the hand returns with the plumb line. It runs from crown to heel, checking alignments unseen by crowds not to shame, but to secure. The voice wraps the moment in clarity. Before I place you beside another, I will place you firmly within yourself. I will not yoke you to rescue or to rebellion, to image or to isolation. I will yoke you to my heart. Then yoke will feel like wings. The vision deepens. A calendar splits like a seed. One half shows days that look the same, faithful mornings, ordinary tasks, small obediences stacked like bricks. The other half bursts with suddenly's introductions that feel like déjà vu. Green lights where there used to be barricades. A conversation that turns as if guided by an invisible hand. The Spirit breathes. When precision is complete, providence accelerates. You will not chase what is sent. I ask, what about the waiting that still aches? The lamp flares, and across the workbench, a line appears in living script. Soon is not a clock. Soon is a readiness. The word wraps your shoulders like a mantle. The ache does not vanish. It converts into appetite hunger for the holy, for the assignment that love will share rather than replace. Shoreline orchard gate and house harmonize. The note settles in your ribs like a second heartbeat. The prophecy is simple and severe. In its kindness, you will be trusted with, covenant not as escape, but as expansion. Your single season has sharpened your seeing. The next will not dull it. You will recognize the door by the peace that does not have to shout. When peace becomes your compass, meaning reveals its map. Meaning matures where precision leads. What you have seen is not a sweet story about romance. It is a theology of formation. The blueprint on the cedar and the lamp that does not run out are not props, they are parables. The master builder is teaching you how heaven thinks about time, love, and assignment. Divine timing is not an errand boy for our emotions. It is the river that carries our becoming. You have been placed in the channel where desire learns discipline and longing learns language. That is why your footsteps glowed only when you stood still enough to be numbered. Heaven refuses to fund frantic movement. Peace, not pressure, is the passport stamp of God's will. The plumb line that traced you from crown to heel is mercy masquerading as measurement. Judgment would have shouted your misalignments. Mercy simply straightens them. God does not humiliate you into holiness. He harmonizes you into wholeness. The line tests what you lean on people's attention, your own momentum, the flattery of almost, and then returns you to weight-bearing truth. Only what is square to his heart can carry covenant. Notice the gate without offense. That is revelation freedom that still honors form. You are not being forced through a narrow passage because God is stingy. You are being invited into a narrow life because glory is heavy. Fences control the unready. Gates welcome the prepared. Precision work is preparation for walking through openings you will not have to defend once you're inside. The orchard with ribbons is the curriculum of the single season. Fidelity, honor laughter, prayer, patience, courage. These are not trinkets you will pick up later. They are sap flowing now. God is not decorating you for a wedding day. He is rooting you for a lifetime. Whenever the Spirit untied a ribbon and dissolved it into your breath, he was proving a holy point. Virtues that are worn like accessories can be put on and taken off. Virtues that are inhaled become atmosphere. Destiny is not a GPS that corrects you at every corner with a sterile voice. Destiny is a counselor who walks beside you and asks better questions. The key that looked like a question mark until purpose straightened it is the mystery of faith. We do not wait for answers to move. We move until our questions settle into assignment. Curiosity becomes calling when surrendered to the one who writes answers into obedience. Transformation in the kingdom rarely happens by spectacle. It happens by sacrament. Small obediences. Morning prayers that no one hears restrained. Replies. You will never get credit for budgets that reflect honor more than impulse. These are waters where ordinary bread becomes holy nourishment. The table in that house is long for a reason. Private sacrament always becomes public abundance. God multiplies what we bless in secret in storms. They are not interruptions. They are X-rays. A storm does not give you new structure. It reveals the structure you carried all along. Precision work in silence means that when winds arrive, they simply expose the bedrock. This is why your house was on rock. Before any ring adorned your finger, the covenant to come is too important to be used as scaffolding. You will not marry rescue. You will marry reinforcement. Consider the seasons. Winter guards the roots others cannot see. Spring argues for hope with 1,000 tender leaves. Summer trains you in steadiness. Beneath heat, autumn teaches, release the art of letting bright things go, so better things can grow. You have mistaken winter for punishment when it was preservation. The gardener hid you under frost to thicken your rings. He refused an early bloom, so you would not be a late collapse. Doors, too, have their doctrine. A true door does not seduce. It summons. Counterfeit doors shout bargains. Act now, prove now, don't miss out. True doors hum with inevitability. That hum is the note you felt in your ribs, the sound that made fear forget its grammar. It is the resonance of assignment calling to capacity. When you hear it, you do not need to explain yourself to anyone. You simply need to walk. Faith, then, is not adrenaline. It is architecture. It takes the measurements of promise and frames daily choices around them. It is refusing to build a balcony where God asked for a foundation. It is learning that soon is not a date on your phone. It is a depth in your spirit. When you are ready, calendars submit. Until then, calendars protect. Do not despise the workshop metaphors. The chisel of clarity hurts because it must. Precision sanding removes splinters you made peace with. The compass of calling redraws routes you were proud of taking. Every instrument on that bench is an instrument in you discernment that now has teeth boundaries, that now have hinges joy, that now has stamina. These are not upgrades for a relationship. They are prerequisites for a legacy. Covenant is not a romance that replaces purpose. It is a romance that reveals purpose more efficiently. Two is not merely better than one. Two is truer than one when the yoke is to Christ. The joined life accelerates assignment, yes, but it also purifies motives. Love that does not serve something bigger than itself eventually serves itself. Love that bows to the king becomes a kingdom. Understand the alchemy of solitude. Isolation starves. Consecration seasons. The difference is agreement. When you agree with God about why you are alone, you are not empty. You are marinating. Spices of Scripture. Oils of prayer, heat of waiting, all of it tenderizes what was tough in you. By the time the table is set, you will not be trying to impress. You will be ready to feed, and finally, the journey. Pilgrims do not apologize for walking at the pace of presence. They do not measure worth by how many towns they pass, but by how much of God they carry between them. Your path is luminous because obedience glows. Your crown of little lights remains because humility holds them in place. This is the deep meaning. Heaven is not delaying you from love. Heaven is delivering you to love without losing you in the process. If you will bless the plumb line and welcome the sanding, if you will accept gates without fences and calendars that bloom on cue, then what is written over the lintel will move from shallow to carved. You will not confuse fireworks for covenant or chemistry for calling. You will know the door, because peace will not have to shout. When foundations settle, signs begin to surface. You asked for meaning. Heaven answers with markers. Precision always leaves footprints. Watch for these confirmations quiet enough to miss if you hurry, clear enough to anchor you if you listen. 1. The peace that doesn't need volume. You step into rooms that once demanded performance and feel a settledness that does not audition. Conversations that used to spike your pulse now land softly like rain on tilled ground. You find yourself declining good things without guilt and accepting simple things with gratitude. You are not numb. You are nourished. This is peace doing its work without raising its voice. 2. The return of the plumb line. Old patterns approach with familiar costumes, but something inside you stands straighter. Red flags are visible before they wave. Compliments do not cloud your counsel. Where you used to negotiate with your own discernment, now you negotiate your calendar to protect it. You feel a microcheck inside gentle firm, and you honor it without needing a second opinion. 3. The narrow door that feels spacious. Invitations arrive that are smaller than your ego prefers, but larger than your purpose can ignore. Serve quietly, study deeply, mentor one apprentice yourself again. Each yes to narrowness expands your interior world. You end days tired in the body, but rested in the soul. Limitation is revealing itself as liberation. 4. The orchard in your mouth. Words of blessing replace reflex sarcasm. You catch yourself praying for people you used to debate with. Your sentences are slower seasoned, less sharp toward others, and more sharp toward truth. Laughter returns clean without the aftertaste of regret. This is the ribbon of honor dissolving into your breath. 5. Timely interruptions. Delays that should frustrate you, protect you. Instead, a missed text prevents a misstep. A rescheduled meeting forged in inconvenience becomes the meeting you actually needed. A closed door frees focus for the door that will open. Providence does not always look like a miracle. Sometimes it looks like a calendar with a guardian angel. 6. The gate without a fence. New boundaries form that no one forced upon you. You no longer explain why you leave early rest more or refuse pressures that carry panic. People who are right for the next chapter read your no as clarity, not rejection. People who are wrong call it distance. Both reactions are confirmations. 7. The lamp that doesn't burn out. Your appetite for scripture, stillness, and sober joy is increasing in a season where most expect depletion. You wake with a steady curiosity instead of desperate urgency. The quiet feels full. The lamp on the bench is doing what it does, feeding your focus with oil that does not run dry. Do not look for fireworks and call them signs while ignoring the whisper that steers your step. Confirmation in this season is not spectacle, it is symmetry. Your outer choices beginning to resemble your inner convictions. You will notice it in playlists you no longer crave, in threads you stop defending, in budgets that begin to tell the truth about what you value. If you have recognized even 2 of these, rejoice. The blueprint is not theory. It is tracking your life in real time. The master craftsman is tracing your edges with gentleness, and the lines are holding. Where signs appear, resistance often follows not as punishment, but as proof of weight. Let us speak plainly about the hidden challenges before the unveiling quickens. Weight invites weather. As precision finishes its quiet work, pressure will test the joins. Do not be surprised when the wind insists on an inspection. These are not punishments. They are proofs that the structure is worth securing. First, the lure of hurry. Opportunities may arrive that flatter your loneliness but insult your assignment. They will sparkle with urgency and threaten that you'll miss your chance if you breathe before you answer. Remember, panic is not a prophet. When timing tries to bully you, step back. Peace never requires a sprint to be safe. Second, the echo of old rooms. Former patterns will knock politely, offering familiar comfort. Threads you muted will ping you again. Stories you outgrew will ask for one more audience. Nostalgia often masquerades as discernment. It will quote your history while ignoring your healing. Honor your past without hiring it as a guide. Third, the fatigue of faithfulness. Precision work is repetitive by design. Bricks are lifted, placed, checked, and lifted again. You will be tempted to confuse boredom with misalignment. Resist. Mastery is not loud, it is loyal. Keep your rhythms, sleep scripture stewardship service, especially when no one is clapping. Fourth, the misreading of boundaries. Some will call your clarity cold because it no longer bends for chaos. Others will interpret your silence as distance when it is actually depth. You are not obligated to annotate your growth. Explain once in love, then entrust misunderstanding to God's timing. Fifth, the sudden spotlight. Just as you settle into holy obscurity, visibility may arrive. Invitations, eyes options. The test is whether you can remain smaller before God than the rooms that now feel big before people. Carry private oil into public places. Decline anything that asks you to spend what you cannot refill. Sixth, the assault on language. You are learning a new vocabulary. Honor, intercession, mutual submission. Expect pressure that tries to make you speak in scarcity again. Sarcasm will offer its counterfeit strength. Cynicism will mimic wisdom. Choose clean words. They build load-bearing walls inside you. Seventh, the quiet of apparent delay. The calendar may sit still while desire grows louder. This quiet is calibrated, not careless. In silences, the Spirit tunes your motives until love is no longer a rescue mission, but an overflow of assignment. Remember, waiting refines what winning would otherwise ruin. Eighth, the sting of the half-right. Not every no will be to something obviously wrong. Some options will be lovely kind, nearly perfect, and not yours. Precision prunes, preference not just sin. Bless what is beautiful, and keep walking. You are choosing a yoke, not a trophy. Ninth, the warfare of rest. Sleep will feel optional. Scrolling will offer counterfeit companionship. Guard your rest like a border. Fatigue makes old lies sound reasonable. Rest gives discernment its full vocabulary. Finally, the temptation to explain the mystery. You will want everyone to approve the path God carved for you. They cannot. It was measured to your step. Favor will vindicate what words cannot. These challenges are tutors, not tyrants. They will not last. They will last long enough to last in you. Endure with a soft heart and a steady hand. You are not proving worth. You are proving weight. Where weight is proven, instructions can be trusted. Let us gather the steps that turn precision into practice. Take these as marching orders, wrapped in mercy actions that turn revelation into routine, so timing finds you ready, not restless. 1. Establish the altar daily. Before screens, before schedules, light your lamp. Give God your first 20, 10 in stillness, 5 in scripture aloud, 5 in surrendered intercession. Read until a phrase arrests you. Linger there. Pray names, not theories. End by asking, what is today's assignment? Write the answer, however small. Obedience loves specifics. 2. Guard the gate without offense. Boundaries are not apologies. They are architecture. Create 3. A time boundary, non-negotiable, rest and prayer window. A truth boundary, no partnerships, romantic or business, that require shrinking your convictions, and a tenderness. Boundary, refuse conversations that mock what God is building. Say it simply, I can't do that, and keep my oil. 3. Choose slow power over quick proof. When urgency knocks, breathe bless and buy time. Say, I will answer tomorrow. Give peace the casting vote. If a decision cannot survive one night of prayer, it will not survive a lifetime of purpose. Let slowness be your sword against seduction. 4. Practice covenant muscles now. You are rehearsing for future partnership by how you handle present people. Intercede for someone you struggle with for 7 days. Replace one reflex of sarcasm with a sentence of honor. Ask, how can I help before? How do I look? These small conversions train the heart to carry heavy love. 5. Steward your names. Make 2 lists, the 5 voices that sharpen you and the 5 voices that scatter you. Pursue the first, prune the second. Send 1 note of gratitude weekly to a sharpening voice. Silence the scattering list for 30 days. Notice how clarity multiplies when noise decreases. 6. Order your house like a prophecy. Clear a physical space that says, I expect covenant. Keep a table set for hospitality, not performance. A chair for prayer that stays warm with use. A budget line titled Honor to Bless Quietly. Live as if the future is worthy of preparation. God meets prepared rooms. 7. With attention, not just income. Where your attention goes, your becoming grows. Tithe, the first 10% of your day's attention to what builds you word, work, wellness, worship. No aimless scrolling before the tithe is given. Attention is currency. Spend it where you want harvest. 8. Learn the language you will need later. Study words like mutual submission, shared vision, repair, reconcile, release. Read 1 book on peacemaking, 1 on finances, 1 on spiritual authority. Memorize scriptures on covenant and kindness. Vocabulary is scaffolding for futures you have not yet seen. 9. Fast for focus, not favor. Once a week. Fast from what hijacks your discernment, social media sweets, or needless noise. Use the hunger as an alarm to pray. Lord, keep me calibrated. Fasting does not buy God. It buys back your attention from what tries to own it. 10. Keep the calendar holy. Block recurring appointments with stillness, stewardship, and service. Put them on your calendar with names. Oil order others. If something must be moved, reschedule before you remove. Precision is kept by rhythm. Chaos grows where rhythms are optional. 11. Practice clean exits. End conversations, commitments, and connections with blessing, not drama. The way you leave a season, prophesize how you'll enter the next. Say, thank you for what this was. I bless you as I step into what now is. Heaven honors doors closed with honor. 12. Build shoulder-to-shoulder strength. Volunteer somewhere you cannot be the main character. Stack chairs, fold bulletins, serve quietly. Shoulders learn covenant by lifting what isn't glamorous. Royalty is rehearsed in hidden rooms. 13. Speak peace into your future home. Daily declare, over your next season, our house will be a refuge. Our table will be a place of prayer. Our words will be clean. Our finances will be mission. Our love will be oil, not fire. Declarations are not decoration. They are alignment. 14. Keep a precision journal. Record 3 things. Checks, inner hesitations, you honored choices, where you chose assignment. Over attention and confirmations, small providences you might forget. Review weekly. Memory is a spiritual discipline. Forgetfulness is a thief. 15. Train for conversations you want to keep. Practice asking better questions. What are you building with God? How can I pray for your courage this week? What boundary is protecting your oil right now? People who are sent will light up under those questions. Pretenders will grow bored. 16. Budget like a builder. Create 4 envelopes. Oil spiritual growth. Order debt and discipline. Others' generosity. Overflow, future vision. Fund each monthly, even if small. The house in the vision sits on rock. Finances are part of that rock. 17. Tend body as temple. Sleep like it's warfare. Move your body daily. Eat what serves clarity. Exhaustion announces lies in a convincing voice. Strength gives truth a microphone. Your future needs your energy. 18. Refuse the secret contract. If a relationship, friendship, flirtation, or business requires you to hide parts of your obedience, it is not covenant. It is a contract with counterfeits. Step back. Bless. Exit clean. 19. Keep wonder near. Schedule beauty sunrise, walks, unhurried meals, music that lifts. Wonder softens the heart, so instruction can land without turning you into a machine. 20. End each day with release. Pray. Search me, align me, renew me. Then release outcomes you tried to control. Sleep under the sentence he gave you. When I unveil it, will be simple to recognize. Peace will not have to shout. Take these steps not as hoops, but as handles, ways to carry what you were born to steward. Walk them gently but firmly. Heaven has drafted you for precision. These practices keep your edge bright and your spirit soft. Hear this like a blanket being laid across your shoulders. You are not walking unguarded. The precision that shaped you has also surrounded you. Protection is not merely the absence of attack. It is the presence of the Almighty encircling your steps with intentional care. The Lord Himself is your perimeter. Where others rely on locks and alarms, you are ringed with a living hedge prayer. You've sown intercession. Others have whispered promises. God has sworn. It is not theoretical. It is topography. In the Spirit, your path gleams like a lane cut through a forest bordered by watchmen who do not sleep. Angels stand along the route like pillars of quiet fire, not for drama, but for direction. When you drift toward what is not yours, the flame warms your cheek, and you return to center without panic. That nudge is protection. That check is love. Your mind, too, is being kept. The gardener who pruned your habits now tends the garden of your thoughts. He pulls weeds of accusation before they seed water scriptures until they rise like shade, and fences your imagination from trespassers named what if and not enough. You will notice it in the mornings first, a calm that outlives the alarm clock, a clarity that does not need caffeine to feel like peace. Where anxiety once sprinted ahead to scout disaster, hope now walks beside you and narrates with kindness. You are also covered in rooms where you feel small. Divine protection does not shrink because you stand before people with titles. Favor becomes your advocate. Integrity becomes your bodyguard. Doors that are not yours will feel heavy, and the right ones will be easy on the wrist. Heaven will frustrate flattery for your sake and let truth do the introductions. If a stage would feed your ego faster than your spirit, that invitation will mysteriously fall through. Bless it. That is safety. Wearing disappointment's face. Your home, present, and future is under a canopy. The corners are anointed, whether with literal oil or with a culture of clean words and unhurried meals. Strife may knock, but it will not rent a room. You will cultivate an atmosphere where confession is normal, defensiveness is strange, and laughter is frequent. This is not naivete, it is authority. You are deciding what may live under your roof. Heaven backs your decision. Provision is guarded as well. The envelopes you labeled oil order others and overflow are not merely budget categories. They are battlements. As you practice generosity and discipline, leaks are sealed. You will be guided away from entanglements that look like quick harvest, but harvest your core instead. Expect gentle detours that protect long-term provision at the cost of short-term thrill. Your future will thank your present for that kind of bravery. And your heart, yes, the tender center that once mistook intensity for intimacy, is wrapped now in the yoke of Christ. You are not brittle, you are bound. Bound to a kindness that corrects before crisis, to a wisdom that whispers before wounds, to a shepherd who counts you at night and in the noonday glare. Even your tears are stewarded. None evaporate without being turned into rain elsewhere. Your pain is not wasted. It waters someone else's courage in a place you cannot see. Hear the Father's assurance, I will not rush you out from the cover I placed over you. I am not leading you into covenant to expose you, but to extend you. What I join, I guard. What I send, I shield. What I unveil, I undergird. So rest not as those who are careless, but as those who are kept. Keep your altar warm, your boundaries kind, your humor clean, your yes precise. The shield is not only in front of you, it is beneath you, above you, behind you, within you. Fear will tire of trying doors that do not open to it. Where safety settles, transformation can unfold without hurry. Let us step into the picture of who you are becoming as fulfillment approaches. Transformation rarely announces itself with trumpets. It tends to arrive like morning quiet, certain, unstoppable. You will notice it first in the way you carry your ordinary. Chores feel lit from within. Commutes become altars. You are less interested in being impressive and more interested in being accurate, aligned to the plumb line you have learned to love. The internal weather has shifted where gusts of anxiety once rattled the windows. There is barometric steadiness. Peace is not a visitor anymore. It has a key. Your voice changes too. Not louder, truer. You speak fewer words, but they land with the weight of someone who has eaten what they are serving. People lean in because you are no longer selling certainty. You are offering presence. You do not enter rooms to take temperature. You enter to set it. This is fulfillment, beginning authority without theatrics, warmth without waste. Then come the suddenlies that feel like inevitabilities. A meeting by chance that clicks like a long-lost hinge. A conversation that turns and in the turning writes a new sentence over your calendar. You are not swept away, you are escorted. Everything you practiced in hiddenness becomes effortless, invisibility, listening before advising, blessing before branding, discerning before deciding. The gate, without offense, swings at your approach, not because you are entitled, but because you are ready. The orchard you carried in your breath begins to bear fruit outside your body. You catch yourself nourishing others with ease, encouragement that strengthens spines, counsel that saves years, laughter that loosens fear's grip. People feel rested after leaving you as if they walked under trees in summer shade. That is fulfillment measured rightly, not applause, but aftermath. And yes, love approaches not as a rescue boat, but as a companion on a road you already know how to walk. Recognition hums between you, not because fantasy has found its mirror, but because purpose has found its partner. Eyes meet across an assignment, and agreement arrives without wrestling. You notice how he never tries to swallow. How vision widens without blurring. How pace synchronizes without losing stride. The names above the lintel begin to deepen, each stroke carved by shared obedience. You build slowly and gladly. A table that remembers prayers as stains of oil. A rhythm that honors bodies and protects devotion. Finances that tell the truth about what matters. Boundaries that are not battle lines, but garden paths. You find yourselves failing well, quick to repair quicker, to forgive. Eager to ask better questions instead of winning smaller arguments. Joy takes the long way through your days and refuses to leave at dusk. The past does not disappear. It is redeemed. Scars soften into stories that guide others out of their thickets. Regrets lose their teeth because you feed them mercy instead of rumination. The enemy's old maps no longer work. The streets have been renamed. You walk the same city with a different sky. Work changes as well. Whether your assignment is spreadsheets or sermons, children, or cities, you sense the yoke of Christ, making heavy things feel human and holy. Efficiency bows to excellence, and excellence bows to love. You are less afraid of starting small and more allergic to starting shallow. Small now feels like seed, not insult. Most surprising of all is how gratitude becomes gravity. It holds you to the ground in a world addicted to flight. You thank God for the lamp that did not burn out, for the chisel that hurt, for the slow calendar that saved you, for the orchard that moved from mouth to table. Thanksgiving keeps fulfillment from turning into entitlement. Praise keeps momentum from mutating into mania. Make no mistake, this transformation is not fragile. It survived winter. It will survive weather. The house stands on rock, not romance. The blueprint still glows on the bench, reminding you that fulfillment is not a finish line, but a fidelity, showing up faithful to what God already blessed and letting Him multiply what He trusts you to tend. So, breathe here. Feel the new width in your chest, the settled joy in your bones, the readiness that does not need to shout. You are not waiting for life to begin. You are living in the life you were measured for. The craftsman's laughter echoes in the beams. The oil still burns. Where fulfillment lands, language should seal it. Let us speak short, sharp affirmations and a blessing that fixes this chapter into your days. Take these words into your mouth like warm bread. Let them be simple, repeatable, and strong enough to steady your breath in any room. Affirmation 1. I move at the pace of peace. Affirmation 2. My single season is precision, not punishment. Affirmation 3. I choose covenant over chemistry, assignment over attention. Affirmation 4. The King measures my steps. I will not be hurried. Breathe between each line. Let them settle into muscle memory, into the places that once mistook panic for prophecy. Speak them over calendars and corridors, over doors you cannot yet see, and thresholds you are already approaching. Speak them when nights are long and when mornings arrive gentle. They are keys in your pocket, ordinary to look at until purpose turns them in the lock. Now the blessing. May the lamp on your workbench never run out of oil. May the plumb line run true from crown to heel, straightening without shaming, securing without straining. May the orchard move from your mouth to your table, and may laughter be clean where it lands. May the gate without a fence open at your approach and close behind you with a song guarding you from what glitters and guiding you into what grows. May your home be a headquarters for assignment rooms, warmed by prayer corners, safe for confession, a table long enough for future faces. May your finances tell the truth about what you value, and your generosity pave roads you will walk later. May your boundaries be read as clarity by those who are sent and as distance by those who are not. And may both readings free you to walk on. May you be kept from counterfeits that rush from options that flatter, from stages that outpace your soul. May rest guard your discernment, wonder, keep your heart soft, and discipline keep your edge bright. May you recognize the door by the peace that does not have to shout, and may your yes be crisp, kind, and clean. And finally, may the Lord Himself surround you before and behind, above and beneath, within and all around. May His laughter be the weather of your days. May His hand be the strength of your grip. May His timing be the river that carries you into rooms prepared, names engraved, purposes aligned. Go in quiet boldness. Build what He blesses. Tend what He trusts to you. Love with oil, not sparks. It is sealed. It is safe. It is time.